Welcome to Steel City Mukbang Variety Pod. I'm your host, Tara Molina. You can also call me T-Rex anytime you like. It's better than being called Auntie. Guys, today I am bringing you this podcast of current events. My week has been such a blur. Let me tell you, it's been an exhausting, tiring, mentally and physically week. And I'm a little bit, all scatterbrained all over the place right now, but I do have some current events to bring to you, and I would like to do that right after a word from our ad partners. It's going to be a quick word. In fact, one of them is going to be on this, the Comfort Tranquil hoodie set. Right now, the Comfort Tranquil is back in stock in all sizes and most colors. There are some colors that are out right now, but they are in stock, so you should grab yours while you can. This is my favorite. I'm pretty sure. I can't decide. I have 5 comfort outfits, but I think this Tranquil is my favorite so far. I will be leaving the links for you for any of the products that you see at the end of this video in the description box. I've got the great news. The Comfort Tranquil is back in stock. I switched up sizes a little bit. The top is a large and the bottoms are an XL. I'm 5'5" and about 220. This Tranquil set is the same great quality that Comfort is known for. It feels like you're getting that familiar, warm hug. And you can trust that it's got that same soft, comfortable material. This particular set sells out very fast. So, click that orange cart below before it's too late. I know you see me drinking from this Water H water bottle frequently throughout my podcasts, and that is because it actually lights up to tell me when it is time to drink water. It is a smart water bottle by Water H, and it will remind you, if you're bad like me at drinking water on time throughout the day, it will literally remind you when to drink. All you have to do is download the app to your phone and sync it with the water bottle, and you'll never have to worry about not getting your daily intake of water again. You'll be reminded promptly. And like I said, this link will also be in the description box at the end of this video. I want to thank you so much for being patient with me with the ad partners, because without them, there is no Steel City Mukbang Variety Pod. So let's move on to our current events. I am a little bit pressed for time. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. So I'm just going to touch on a few things that stood out to me this past week. And I want to start with a story that I heard about a little girl who was an immigrant child. She and her mom were detained in ICE custody. They took them to the deportation center in Dilley, Texas, where the conditions are described as atrocious. Atrocious and not fit even for animals. This is little Amalia. She was suffering, struggling to breathe with respiratory failure in the Dilley Immigration Detention Center. Denied treatment. Who could deny anyone medical treatment? But especially this beautiful little baby. The little girl was very sick, and she had several respiratory diseases. She had RSV, pneumonia, and COVID. It is believed that the little girl contracted these illnesses while being held in the detention center. She was being denied care in the Dilley facility. The family filed a suit, and the lawyers of the family were able to have the child released and transferred to a hospital, where she spent 10 days. 10 days in a local hospital. She was then discharged by the request of ICE to go back to the deportation center in Dilley. The hospital discharged her with medication to take. And once she was back in the Dilley deportation center, they literally refused to continue her on that medication. She was only 18 months old, okay? 18 months old. Literally a baby. Amalia was held another 9 days in the ICE detention center before the family lawyers were able to actually get her released from the detention center after she had returned back there from the hospital. And she was actually just released a week ago, Friday. She is adorable. Sweetheart. They pretty much did not care if she lived or died. Like I said, this place in Dilley, Texas is not fit for an animal. And the people there are being treated worse than you would treat an animal. That place needs to be investigated and shut down. ASAP. And while we're on the topic of health, there is a considerable rise in the number of measles cases in the United States. This is after RFK downplayed the necessity of measles vaccines. People were beginning to pull away from getting their children vaccinated in the first place. But when RFK Jr. gave his brainless assessment of what to do for measles, such as promoting vitamin A to combat the measles if you happen to be stricken with the disease, people started to overload their children with vitamin A. And this was causing kids to get sick. Too much of anything is not good. Children were getting liver damage from getting too much vitamin A, headaches, dizziness, bone pain, and too much given to a child, too much given to anyone, can result in a vitamin A toxicity and even death. But people were pumping their kids with vitamin A at the behest of Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the Health and Human Services Secretary. He has no prior knowledge of health or medicine or anything at all related to pharmaceuticals. He is literally giving information off the cuff based on conspiracy theories in his own warped mind. But due to all of that combination of everything, there is now a rise, a greater rise of measles cases in the United States. The American Hospital Association has stated that there are confirmed 910 U.S. cases in 2026 so far, and we're only into mid-February. It's becoming so alarming that Dr. Oz has contradicted RFK Jr. and the president by stating that everyone should get the measles vaccine, and especially children. And let's move on now to Bad Bunny. At Super Bowl halftime last week, I enjoyed it. I even understood a few words of what he was singing because I do understand a little bit of Spanish. But I think the show was very significant in what is going on right now in America. And I think it was spectacular. It sent a message of peace, love, and unity. While at the same time, there was an opposing show by Turning Point USA that was headlined by Kid Rock, who literally made a song glorifying, essaying of women. young women. But this is the person that this Christian organization decided to have headline their alternative family halftime show. Lawmakers want the NFL, the network, and Bad Bunny investigated for improper and vulgar content that's not suited for all audiences. I'm not sure what they were looking at. I don't know what made them say that. I didn't see anything any more vulgar than any other artist that came on to the Super Bowl halftime show to perform over the years. Dancing has become provocative ever since Elvis Presley was first on TV gyrating to the point where cameras and networks would not shoot him from the waist down. They kept the camera trained on him from chest up so that you couldn't see his hips moving. Like back in the 50s, 60s, Elvis Presley broke that barrier of being able or being allowed or being permitted to shake your hips on screen. And ever since then, provocative moves have just been a normal part of what we view on television and movies and so on. Your child could turn on TikTok and see even worse dancing and movements right on social media. But you don't see parents rushing to take that iPad away from the kid. They're steady shoving that iPad in their child's hands to keep them busy so that they don't have to be bothered with the kid. But that's okay. Let your child watch anything they want on the internet. But a 20-minute halftime show with a man with some dancers is frowned upon. Oh, but that's right. I forgot. It's frowned upon because he's a Hispanic American and he performed his songs in his native language of Spanish. How dare he? A Puerto Rican American. Puerto Rico, a United States territory. And the whole United States racist community had a fucking meltdown. They literally melted down. Now, I just wonder how many of those people tolerate opera. How many of them go to the opera and listen to someone sing in Italian for an hour and a half to 2 hours? Or maybe it's a full-blown operatic musical where it's 3 or 4 hours long. And every word is in Italian. But that is okay. No one is complaining about that. I'm not sure I understand the difference. People in this country can be so bigoted, so racist, so discriminatory toward others that they can't even tolerate a 20-minute halftime show that is performed in a different language. What a sad, sad world we live in today. I commend Bad Bunny for his performance because it was based on unity and love. And that is what we need. But sadly, this country is on a speedboat into hate and discrimination. Each day, it just feels like it gets worse and worse. I don't know. I really, it's depressing. It is depressing. But someone has to talk about it. You know, there people were cut out for different things. And I just feel like it was part of my calling to talk about it, to bring it up, not to shy away from any topic. I watched a lady earlier who said that some top creators will shy away from the topics of current events and what's going on in the world today in order to preserve their following. They won't take that chance and talk about just anything because they fear losing followers. They fear losing their influence. Well, I'm not one of those people. I feel that if you have a calling and you follow your calling, you obey that calling and you do what you're supposed to do, or you do what you feel God is calling you to do, God will bring you the people. He will bring you the following that will make up for those who decided they couldn't stand what you're talking about and they leave your platform. They'll be replaced. As long as you do what you're called to do, you will have that following. People will come. People that are here will stay and not leave. So I'm not even worried about that. I am not worried at all that I will lose followers based off of some of my topics. I'm going to be honest. I am going to speak my mind. I am going to bring you news, opinions, and facts. Because I'm also not afraid to give my opinion on things. Everyone's entitled to it. And I would love for you guys to leave some of your opinions in the comment section today. Happy Valentine's Day too, by the way. I absolutely love each and every one of you and appreciate you. I told you today was going to be a little bit shorter show, and I'm sorry, but I do have to end it here. We will continue on with Black History Month next week. I am not going to commit to a day because my hectic schedule continues on for a few days into next week. And I may not be able to get the Black History podcast out on Monday. I will try. But if I can't do it, just trust me when I tell you I will have it out before the end of the week. And I will also have you another current events podcast during the same week. I will make up for all of these missing days. But life happens, and I'm sure you all are fully aware. Life does happen. And when you have a lot of things to do, you just have to prioritize and get through them step by step, one at a time. You're only one person. You can't be in two places at the same time. So don't stress. Just try to follow your schedule as best you can. Don't let the haters get you down. And know that I love you and appreciate you. Thank you again for joining Steel City Mukbang Variety Pod. And I will see you guys again soon.